Isters lived in a large mansion. Cinders worked very hard, rubbing sclores, weaning clindoos, and emptying pospits and shivelling shut. By the end of the day she was knucking factory. Her sugly Isters were fine cooking runs. They did no working fork and had no working furrows. They were right bugly asters. One was called Mary Hinge and the other Betty Swallets. They were always bucking fist. The two sugly Isters had tickets to go to the ball. Cinderella was ducking disgusted, but none of the runs would not let her go. Buttons worked with Cinderella. He was gifted with huge knackers and a sherry atoll. He was also a candy runt and was forever diving into Cinderella's cubic pears. Suddenly there was such a bucking fang, and a query godmother appeared. Her name was Sherry Tighthouse. She was a light rucking thespian with a carriage, Leary Hunt and Terry Hicks. She turned a pumpkin and 6 mite-wise into a hugging huge carriage, pulled by 6 dandy ronkies with huge collars. Cinderella was amazed. Mice all cracking fighty, she said. The query godmother told Cinderella to be back by midnight or there would be a cooking calamity. At the ball, Cinderella was dancing with the Prancing Hinds. The music was played by a band called Sid Sift and his Sifling Seven. They were gucking fud, but too knucking foisy. It was that drucking fummer. What a rucking packet. The cabaret was hucking folkless. When the band of the trumpet sounded, he was bucking brilliant, but he's such a big-headed banky wastard. Cinderella wished he'd stick his trumpet up his fucking farsole. Suddenly the clock struck 12. Cinderella pucking panicked and ran out of the ballroom, tricking bars over Alex and dropping her glass slipper. The next day the Prancing Hinds came knocking on Cinderella's door. The sugly Isters let him in. Betty Swallets let off a thick Bart. "Who's first jarted?" said the Prancing Hinds. "Blame that horrible hooker over there," replied Buttons. The shell of Smith was tucking terrible. After the stinking brown cloud had lifted, the Prancing Hinds tried the glass slipper on the sugly Isters without success. They had horrible fetty sweet and fetty swallows. Mary Hinge suddenly lost her tucking temper and gave the Prancing Hinds a nick in the knackers. The glass slipper fitted Cinderella perfectly. "Put my soil," said the Prancing Hinds. "Suck your own," said Buttons. He ended his day in looking functionary. Cinderella ended hers with a phone and swanny, and they all lived happily ever after. Oh, that's enough. Wow.